Let's start the show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Triangle Defense Podcast. So, we were supposed to record yesterday on Sunday, but the Halloween weekend got the best of the both of us. And to make up for lost time, we're going to be getting right into the topics today. No intro today. We're going to get right into the part of the show where we bring our 3-pointers from the week. And I bring 3 topics, John brings 3 topics, and we discuss from there. So starting off for today, what do you got for us, John?
Yeah, so this morning, Monday morning, the 11th, or the first of the 11th month of 2021, as it's commonly referred to, NBA dropped their city jerseys, and I guess Nike did as well because they designed most of the jerseys and run them. And my initial take, I'd love to hear what you think. My initial take is they're pretty bad again. Pretty lackluster.
Yeah.
I think overall Nike has when the NBA announced that they were going to partner with Nike, what was it, a couple years back, 2017, something like that. I was pretty psyched. I was like pretty stoked.
Yeah.
Adidas had done an okay job, but the sleeve jerseys were a pretty big failure.
Yeah, because I worked at Nike at the time that
oh really
partnership got announced. So I was geeked. I was ready to get some gear at 40% off.
Yeah,
and
but over the years, you look at, and the Heat are wearing yellow jerseys. The Celtics are wearing blue jerseys. The Lakers are wearing blue. What the hell? Like they totally dropped the ball on all these. When I flip on an NBA game nowadays, it's been good to start out the season, but that's just because they haven't gotten crazy yet.
Right.
But the last season, I'd turn on the TV and I'd be like, okay, the Pacers are playing like Charlotte or something, and I'd be like, oh no, it's the Heat wearing yellow jerseys and the Lakers wearing the MPLS jerseys. Like, it's just like, obviously some of them are pretty cool because they're pretty quirky, but just wear it takes away the value of cool jerseys if you wear the cool jerseys every single fucking game.
Yeah, right.
Like they should mean something. Like Adidas did it pretty well. I know for the Bulls they had their home whites. They wear red on the road, and then every now and then they'd bust out the black jerseys, or on St. Patty's Day they bust out the green jerseys. But what do you think?
So I took a good look at all of these, and I have a few that I really do like.
Yeah,
I
do
have
too.
a few that I'm like meh about, and I would just make a couple tweaks to them, and then I have a few that I think just suck. Would you want me to start? Do you want me to start at the ones I hate or the ones that I love?
Let's start with the good. Because I have a few that are good, and it is a few.
I love that Nets jersey. I really like that Nets jersey, just paying homage to kind of like those early, because this is similar to the one that they did last year, with the font.
Yeah.
Just paying homage to that early 90s Nets team, Drazen Petrovic. What's his name?
Derek
Coleman. Yeah, guys like that, So I like that. I like the history behind it. I think it's a good design. I like the color on it.
Yeah.
So that's one that I do.
Like a lot of these jerseys are pretty much directly inspired by past jerseys. Like Toronto's bringing back the Raptor, and the Bucks used to have that purple sort of color in their color scheme.
Right. And then that leads me into the reason that I like the 2 other ones. I like the Rockets one. I always really did love those navy blue Rocket, the pinstripe ones, Steve Francis era. Yeah, exactly. Late Hakeem Olajuwon era and all that. I always did really like those. So I do like that they brought those back. And then the other one that I really do love, just based off of the font of the team name, I like the Timberwolves one.
Oh, they're bringing back the trees, dude.
I really like that Timberwolves one. But I'd say those are the only 3 that I'm crazy about. Is this Suns one not the same one that they used?
I was going to say there's a couple of them that look like they've been used. New Orleans is in the top left corner. Looks like it's their home jersey. I don't know.
Legit, that was what I thought.
Utah in the middle row. They have worn that jersey before.
Right.
They've worn that jersey last year, and it's a dope jersey. I really think the sort of black and the sort of thermometer pattern is a really cool look. But they've worn that before. On the opposite side of that, I don't know if I'm stepping over your picks that I don't like, but some like the Chicago one. You could tell it was kind of inspired by like the '80s, early
Like
Jordan years cursive,
artists. Yeah, right, yeah.
but I mean, they didn't have a stripe and the black around the neck. It looks weird. And same thing with the Lakers one. It's purple, but it has the Minnesota blue
I don't
as an
like that one.
outline. It looks like
Honestly, I'm
it looks
not.
like a Jazz jersey from the Stockton Malone era.
That's what I was thinking. It was just missing the mountains in the background, you
Yeah,
know.
pretty much same exact colors. Like OKC, it has no color whatsoever on it. It's just
I have to look
white.
into the inspiration of that.
What could you be inspired by? Like, do people do a lot of blow in OKC?
I could not imagine that,
Fuck?
honestly. Um, Going into the ones that,
Yeah,
like I was saying, that I'm kind of like about. I the Hawks jersey. I love that they use the Hawk
yeah.
logo. I just don't like the yellow.
It
I
looks
think
like a
if they
McDonald's.
exactly, I think if they did that on a red jersey or they did that on a white
Yeah,
jersey, I would like it a little bit better. But I do love that they brought the old logo
yeah.
back like that. I think it looks fine. Another one that I'm kind of on the fence about is the Dallas one.
Oh, I
Cause
think it's trash.
you think
I
so?
think it stinks. It's so uninspired, and
I'm
Dallas
like
has never in their entire history as a franchise had a jersey that I thought was cool. So maybe I'm.
I think I just think about the those were probably like Jamal Mashburn days that they had
That
that
was like
logo.
Steve Nash Mavericks days kind of
Hmm.
logo, where they did have their logo is just a D with a big cowboy hat on it, which I actually think
Right.
was kind of dope. But the
Yeah.
jerseys were uninspired as hell. They looked like a college team or something.
And then one that I'm not going to say too much about is the Celtics one. They kind of don't ever really do anything.
And it's kind of they're kind of in a corner with that because if you fuck up one of the most iconic jerseys in NBA history in any way, there's no way you can make it better.
No, right,
Like it's
exactly.
like developing an alternate logo for the Bulls, like the Bull logo, the Celtics leprechaun,
Lakers.
and pretty much the Lakers logo. I know the Lakers do have that alternate logo with the L, pretty much that
Hmm.
was Kobe sort of popularized. But like you're like the Celtics came out with the jerseys last year, the banner ones, the
Hmm.
white with the like green font, and I thought those were okay.
They called those the Hulu has live sports jerseys. Very
Yeah,
much what that
yeah,
resembled. Those jerseys that like Damian Lillard would wear in the
yeah.
commercials.
I'll go over a couple that I thought were okay. Pacers, I thought was that sort of takes
Yeah,
homage from the other ones. Memphis sort of copied the famous Vancouver Grizzlies design and added their current colors, the dark blue. I
yeah,
like
I
that.
like
I like
that.
that a little bit. Toronto sort of mixed and matched with the OVO jerseys with the old purple Raptor jerseys. I didn't think it was horrible, but I'm not. It looks kind of tacky. It looks
Exactly.
like something that
That's
Drake would design in his basement in like MS Paint.
exactly, and that's why
And maybe he did. Like, who
I
knows?
stayed away
He
from
is
that
Nike.
one.
He is part of Nike. And then
Right.
Clippers is directly inspired by I think both Buffalo Braves and I think they're in. I think the Clippers were or one either the Clippers or the Rockets franchise was in San Diego for a hot minute in the
The
'70s.
Clippers. Yeah, the
Yeah, and
Clippers
I
were,
think
yeah.
that's inspired by the era that literally no one remembers.
Right,
But
yeah.
but I think it looks cool. It just doesn't fit with their colors at all. But whatever.
No, it looks like an OKC jersey, like
Yeah,
with the colors,
it
with that light
does.
blue and
It
the
does.
orange. I'm gonna go into the one that I liked probably the
Yeah, which one did
least
you
out
like
of all these.
the? Oh, the least. Okay, yeah.
The Heat jersey.
It looks somebody on Reddit said that it looked like the Zodiac Killer designed it with the
Probably, yeah.
the mismatched letters. I
Exactly.
I hate let's see the one that I hate the most. Some of them look really bad and out of place, but the one that I hate just off of principle is the Magic middle row,
Yeah.
fourth from the right. So last year they debuted the jerseys that have orange heavily featured in the color scheme to the point where I went to a game at the arena or whatever the hell they call it, and the
Mhm.
court, the wraparound on the court was orange. The logo was orange. It was like, I mean, they look fine. You have one of the best jerseys of all time in the Shaq pinstripe era, Penny Hardaway era. Just fucking put
Right.
some pinstripes on there. Just do that. You don't have to
Even bring
incorporate.
back even bring back the ones from like the
Just
Dwight
wear
Howard
them.
era.
Like
Yeah.
you don't have to work in somebody. I asked somebody, and a Magic fan, and they said it was because Orlando is in Orange County. Who cares?
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't have. Yeah, right.
You're going to put like a chef's hat on the Bulls because they're in Cook County. Like it doesn't make any fucking
Right.
like no one gives a
Yeah.
fuck what county you
Hey,
play in.
you know what? You know what? I think you might have did something there with the Bulls, the Cook County one.
Like no one cares. Like did someone think like the Magic are a boring franchise, but it's not because their jerseys are bad. That's the best part about the franchise.
Right. Yeah.
They're all
Exactly.
pretty much iconic. Like just put the damn blue on the pinstripes, make it black, pour some white into there, get some
Hmm.
Disney shit. You don't have to put orange anywhere near
No.
this color scheme. I don't know if it's like I know graphic design, blue and orange are like opposite on the color spectrum or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But like this isn't a fucking Michael Bay movie. You don't need to like go
No.
all out and get your art degree like for fucking designing Orlando jerseys. It's just the principle of it. The fact that someone in Nike just said like, you know what we should do? We should fuck up their colors just completely. It's like, and then
Yeah.
there's an
Exactly.
Orlando fan in the background. It's like orange isn't a part of our color scheme, and they just like throw them out a window or something.
Right. Yeah. Right. He knows too much. Get him out of here.
Yeah.
No.
So that was my
The
take.
reason I don't like the Miami Heat jersey, I want to get back into that too.
Yeah,
Is
let's go back to that.
like I said, it just looks like a scrapbook type thing. I get because somebody is gonna say something. They're like, "Oh, you don't understand that
Right.
they're taking
There's
bits
some
and pieces."
history.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
It just doesn't look good. And
exactly.
I think I applaud them for doing something different because I think the Miami Vice colorway has kind of run its course.
Well,
Um,
because they overused it, you can't deny. I think pretty universally, the Miami Vice colorway was the sexiest
oh yeah,
alternate in maybe NBA history.
yeah, one hundred
Every
percent.
version, the pink, the blue, and the white one, were
Yeah,
all just like perfect fits for Miami. It fit it so well, but they wear them every game
and,
basically. So,
and then they did like the Trix yogurt looking one last year, and I just wasn't a fan of that. And like I
yeah,
said, I think that ran its course, and they know that. And they were just like, okay, let's try to do something different. So I applaud them for trying to do something different. It just doesn't look good, straight up.
yeah. I think the Cavs one looks kind of weird. The circle on the
Yeah,
jersey looks pretty weird. Top row.
the Rip City
Washington,
ones are fine.
they look pretty damn generic, just like every other Portland jersey.
Exactly. The
And it's not like
Washington ones are inspired by, I'm pretty sure
the
those like late
the
90s, like Bullets.
no,
Yeah,
like the Bullets, yeah, Wes Unseld and Elvin Hayes. You go back and look at them, and they had similar looking jerseys with the sort of pinstripes, and then
right.
some of them are pretty generic. The Sixers, top all the way top right. I don't know why they have that. Um, Sacramento right below it is pretty much just the Chris Webber era, the only
Hmm.
Rick Adelman era, the only good era in their entire franchise. And
Exactly.
then Charlotte looks like they're doing a little too much on the bottom row.
I
They
agree.
already they try to work the honeycomb pattern and everything they have, the court and the design, everything. It's like they have cool colors. Just keep the Larry Johnson pinstripes. Again, pinstripes
You
are
you
great.
have the best throwback gear.
Yeah,
I think the
and
Hornets have the coolest vintage like
they're
anything.
dope.
Yeah, 100%. And like
Hugo the
the
Hornet, yeah.
the way that you messed that up, I don't
I mean
truly
the grid
understand.
pad. It looks like a shitty Matrix fan tribute or something. Like it's
Right.
and then I'm not big on the fade up from the teal into the blue. It just
Hmm.
looks really messy and pretty half-assed,
Yeah.
like a lot of these.
Exactly. But
Um,
please let us know, guys, what you think are some of the best jerseys from this city collection and ones that you think are the worst. Maybe we called your team's jersey terrible and you want to go off on us in the comments, but we still appreciate that. But
yeah, we do.
yeah, let us know. And I want to get into my first
Yeah, go
topic
for
that I
it.
have here for the week, and that just being that this rookie class has been pretty good.
Yeah, solid so
There's
far.
just a lot of guys, specifically a guy that I wasn't super high on going into the draft, and that was Evan Mobley. And I mean, well, just especially coming out of summer league as well too. He wasn't great during summer league.
Yeah. And out of all those top prospects, a lot of people picked Mobley to be the guy that sort of didn't keep up with the rest of them progression. I
That was
think
what I was thinking too. I thought he had big bust potential, but
yeah,
he's
which I
looking
think
really
is
good.
pretty. When you look back at it, there's no real reason why you should say that. As a freshman, he dominated the Pac-12. He
Right.
dominated at USC. He carried them along with his brother. He was like defensive player of the year. He was everything for them. And
And I
I
think
thought he was going
part
to be
of
more of
that.
a project, to be honest.
Right, but no,
He's NBA ready right now.
exactly. He's coming out here and he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. That's the thing
He's
is like
like,
there's
yeah,
he's defending at an elite level. Like just based off of what he's given us in these six,
yeah.
7 games or whatever, he's got defensive player of the year potential.
He's what James
I
Wiseman
definitely
was
think so.
supposed to be, basically
Exactly.
the same
Yeah.
exact player for the most part, even though I think he's a little shorter than James Wiseman. But imagine if the Warriors had Evan Mobley last year than James
Yeah, that team
Wiseman,
would have been a lot better.
they would have probably made the play-in or made the playoffs from the play-in instead of
Mhm.
getting bounced. All sorts of things happen if they get Mobley instead of James Wiseman, but he does look really good. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he looks great, and he's not making a lot of rookie mistakes. They're
Yeah.
playing him out of position too. He's played the 4, he's played the 5 a
Who
little
knows?
bit.
Who knows what the Cavs even qualify as out of position when they have Lowry playing at the 3? But yeah,
Yeah, true. Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
But
We talked
him
about
in
Chris Duarte.
particular, Chris Duarte, Jalen Green, of course,
Jalen Green's going off. Yeah, and that was
Franz
expected.
Wagner is balling out. I've caught a little
He
bit
played.
of
Yeah,
that,
I
and
mean, he doesn't have a lot of competition,
no,
but
but I mean he's shooting at like a pretty efficient rate right now,
yeah.
and I think he might have a solid career. And another guy too that I was pretty critical of this team picking him so early on, Scotty Barnes.
I think a lot of people were surprised they didn't. Obviously, that they didn't go with Jalen Suggs.
Well, because I thought Jalen Suggs was the obvious answer,
Yeah,
and I thought it was like with Kyle Lowry leaving and
exactly.
Goran
Replacing
Dragic
Kyle
not
Lowry.
wanting to be there. I thought, okay, like Jalen Suggs, that's the easy pick here at 4, right? And then they went with Scotty Barnes, and I think a lot of teams and GMs and front office people think that they're smarter than everybody, and they want to be early on stuff like that, because you think of a guy like Giannis, that wasn't they had no clue,
Yeah,
and I think teams are trying to be like, and same things. This was similar to the Patrick Williams pick too, to
yeah.
where they're
Same
majorly. I
college.
mean, right? You had these top 3 guys. The top 3 of this draft was always going to be Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, and Evan Mobley. And everyone's just like, well, if we don't have one of those guys, and if we don't have a top 3 pick, why don't we just take a swing?
Yeah,
And like not drafting for need, because if they were drafting for need, Jalen Suggs would have been the guy.
yeah, yeah.
You
And
know,
a lot of the times, a lot of times GMs do think they're smarter than everyone else, and usually they are. This time it's Masai Ujiri, who I trust a lot. He
yeah,
probably is smarter than most of the other GMs that were taking him. Is that the right pick? He's been balling out, that's for sure.
he had two 20-point games in the span
Yeah,
of like
and
a
he
week.
grabs boards. He plays bigger than his height,
Oh,
and it was
100%.
like that. It was like that in college as well. But speaking of college, the guys that I like to focus on who are getting more minutes than I thought is a lot of the guys that were big in college. Luka Garza gets minutes for the Pistons off the bench,
Yeah.
which I don't know. I didn't expect him to really, but I thought he'd get thrown in the G League for half the season or whatever. He's
Right.
contributing.
Yeah.
This is stepping on my one of my 3-pointers, but I guess we should talk about. Should we talk about it now?
Go ahead. Why not?
Yeah, let's go in depth about how good Davion Mitchell has been as a defender, because he's not just getting minutes. He's not just being trusted by his coach. He's locking people the fuck up.
Yeah.
Davion Mitchell has already become a premier defender in the NBA, and he's just been an animal. Like he's been giving everyone fits. Donovan Mitchell, the Battle of the D Mitchells.
The Battle of the D Mitchells, yeah.
He already has a nickname. They call him Off Night. I mean, it's just like he's already building such a profile, and it makes things even more complicated for the Kings.
Right.
Any other franchise, that'd be a good problem to have, having that much guard depth, but it's the Kings, so they're probably going to fuck it up.
I didn't know if Luke Walton, I didn't have a lot of trust in Luke Walton to, handle him correctly. And especially like you said, I mean, there's a lot of depth at the guard position there, and I barely thought about Davion Mitchell going into the season. Like when we talked about our, rookies going into the season and underrated players, he just completely went over my head, because when I think Sacramento, and Tyrese
Halliburton, Buddy Hield
Buddy
plays both. It's just
Hield.
as a wing. Yeah, I mean,
Exactly. Yeah, I didn't think about Davion Mitchell, but no, he's impressed the hell out of me
yeah,
this
yeah.
season so far. And like you said, like the fact that Luke Walton is trusting him to be kind of the primary guard defender on this team is because Tyrese Halliburton's a good defender too.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
the
He's
thing is
not a
like
slouch. That's
he
what you
impressed me
build at.
last season too, to where he wasn't like
Yeah,
I remember a specific play. He was guarding Tatum, and Tatum tried to give him a fake, and he didn't bite for it at all. Like he wasn't making rookie
yeah.
mistakes last year, and
I
that's
mean, if
how I
you,
feel about Mitchell right now too. But Mitchell's
yeah,
looking even more impressive than Halliburton did on defense last year
yeah.
too.
Like I urge anyone listening to this, just go look up like Davion Mitchell defensive highlights, and you see. I mean, you just see like a lockdown defender on the wing, and he's like somewhat undersized, especially when he's guarding bigger twos, and his feet are just so quick.
Right.
And he's just, I mean, he's just already looks to be such a valuable piece for a team that wants to win meaningful games. That's
Mm-hmm.
how valuable is that in the playoffs? We saw Dellavedova giving people fits, giving Curry fits a little bit in the finals in
Exactly.
2015. He's I think he might be better than Matthew Dellavedova, but I mean, he's the type of
Maybe.
guy you want off the bench, give you energy, do that, all that kind of shit. His teammate from Baylor, who I'm a big fan of, Jared Butler, has been
Yeah.
playing all right.
Yeah, I agree.
Preseason he went off, whatever that's worth.
For whatever that's worth. Yeah.
He's on a really really good team, and not only that, a deep team. So I'm not sure how much he's going to play, but
Right.
I'm looking forward to seeing him, as well as a couple of those Baylor guys, Maceo Teague, as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Yeah, so
And,
honest, I'm sold on Davion Mitchell at this point. Like I
yeah,
said, he's a guy that kind of went under the radar. For me, I watched him a bit at Baylor. I remember vividly watching that Wisconsin Baylor game, and yeah, no, he's looked great, and yeah, I'm sold on him for sure. And he's
yeah.
quietly going to get himself into that Rookie of the Year race.
Well,
He's probably going to be like the third guy out or something, you know.
yeah. And it's the thing about Mitchell is like, you see guys, we saw this with Tyreek Evans forever ago. You
Mm-hmm.
see guys that score a lot their rookie year, or they get a bunch of boards, or they can pass really well. They do flashy stuff. And then, it turns out to be a fluke, like Michael Carter
Right.
Williams,
Michael Carter Williams,
famously
that's exactly what I was thinking.
rookie season, something like that. But defensively, there's not really, you can't fake being, unless he gets hurt or something, you can't fake being.
You don't fall off defensively until like later on in your career. I
It's
mean, you
because
don't.
your feet get slower. His feet are so quick, and he's such a smart defender. He has both sides. He's smart and he's athletically gifted as hell, and
Exactly.
that's something that he'll always have in his career for the time being, unless he gets hurt or something like that, obviously. But
Mm,
that changes the whole conversation. So it's not like oh, here's this guy, he's playing well, but it's more of a flash in the pan. They'll figure him out.
right.
No, I don't think that's
No.
going to
I
happen.
think yeah, he's going to be
I
a
think
good
he's here
defender
to
in the
stay,
NBA for a long
and I think the
time.
Kings got a really good one because I think a lot of people look at that Baylor team and they see guys like Jared Butler,
Mm-hmm.
Maceo Teague score a lot, Matthew Meyer, Mark Vital, and those guards were so deep they forget Davion Mitchell is a premier guy, and people
Right.
were surprised about how high he went. I think, especially that the Kings took him because
Mm-hmm.
their depth is so great. I specifically remember when they drafted him, it was, here we go, it's the Kings,
Right.
but
Yeah.
it's looking like they finally learned their lesson about drafting for talent over fit.
Yeah. Yeah.
A few years too
God.
late.
A few years too late. You know, you've only missed out on a couple generational players, but
Hey, at least I got Marvin Bagley out of it. Doesn't play, hasn't logged a single minute all season, but
right. I don't think he will either. But
no, but that's a different
moving
conversation. Yeah, show us your
moving
second.
on to my second topic of the day, it's Miles Bridges.
Tell us about Miles Bridges.
I think that if the season ended today, right now, 7 games in, he's the most improved player. Um, I didn't have him on my radar for most improved. You didn't have him on your radar for most improved, and a lot of other, NBA YouTube people, Bleacher Report, all that stuff. Wasn't a lot of talk about him going into this season. Everyone expected him to do Miles Bridges things, catch lobs, be
That's
okay on
be
defense,
flashy.
but he averaged 12.7 points per game last season, and through 7 games, He's now averaging 24.6. Clearly, I don't expect that to go any higher. I don't
Right.
expect it to take a huge dip either as well too, just from the way that he's scoring the ball right now. But I think it's going to taper out to a more reasonable 20 to 22 a game.
Yeah, well, let's look at the evidence for Miles Bridges, and obviously it's been 7 games, but it's no doubt that his role in the offense has been bolstered a little
Exactly.
bit. Clear evidence. He's averaging 8 more field goal attempts a game than he was
Hmm.
last season. About double the amount of threes, a little less than double the amount of threes. He's shooting
And
more threes,
and his percentage has gone down, but he's shooting a lot higher
but
of a
he's
volume.
shooting
Yeah.
a lot higher volume. Yeah, and so really that's he's shooting more free throw attempts per game. Funny enough, with the new rule,
Right. Yeah.
like he always struck me as a guy that part of his game was getting inside and getting free throws, but he didn't average a whole lot last season.
No.
1.7
No.
last season, up to
Right.
4.3 a game this season, and he shoots it at an 87% clip. So that's pretty much that's the hard facts. That's
Eh,
why he's taking a
And
leap,
I
and
and I have no reason to assume that he's going to take a step back or his role is going to diminish in
diminish. Yeah.
Charlotte. It's clear that it's working. I mean, they're winning games. They're looking great doing it too. So I
Do you like
think
James Borrego?
I don't know if I have much of an opinion
I
on
think
him.
I think I'm right there with you.
It's like I don't
Spurs
feel.
guy,
Yeah, no,
top
Spurs
coaching
guy, and
tree.
that's why. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's
Which
about
works
all I
out
know.
sometimes and works out doesn't.
The players seem to like him.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. Exactly. I haven't heard a bad thing from the players, or I haven't heard anything in the locker room that any guys don't respect him or anything. But
Yeah,
I don't have a huge opinion on him. But I mean, he's winning games. So, and then the other thing I was going to talk about the nature of the most improved player
yeah.
and why I think this should still be Miles Bridges' award. So, most improved player, a lot of the time, I'm going to use CJ McCollum for example. So I don't know if this gets considered when it comes to voting. So, how much of the time is a player actually improving, and how much of the time are they just getting more opportunity? Because I'm going to use, like I said, I'm going to use CJ McCollum as an example. So,
Okay.
CJ was sitting on the bench. I think he was a second or third year player off the bench for a Portland team that had Damian Lillard, Wes Matthews, Nick Batum, LaMarcus Aldridge and Robin Lopez. And I don't know if you
Yeah,
remember that summer, that starting lineup was gutted completely.
yeah.
And all those guys were gone except for Dame. And so CJ was just like, okay, I guess I'm kind of in the starting lineup now. And he went on to be a really good scorer. And he's been Damian Lillard's running mate in the backcourt since then. Um, so was that, I mean, did CJ make a huge jump as a player, skill wise, or all that, or was that just he didn't have a lot of opportunity sitting behind Wes Matthews and Nick Batum on
Well,
the wing?
it's kind of hard to tell, obviously, because in getting more attempts and proving yourself, it's kind of hard to prove yourself if you don't. I mean, it is a little more about opportunity, but
And then
for that example,
I'm gonna compare Miles Bridges to another example as well too, to where Brandon Ingram had been a
right?
starter for his entire career. And
Yeah,
he took a jump, scoring, he was shooting the ball more efficiently, all that. That is real improvement right there. To
I
where
was going to
you've
bring up
been oh, God.
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler, yeah,
He was
exactly.
starting,
Yeah.
and then his role increased, but it's not like the roster changed too much. But he went from being a hard nosed defender who could kind of score every now and then to a number one option,
To
pretty
being the
much.
number one scoring option on that
Yeah,
team. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. To where
So that I'd say
Miles
that was real
Bridges,
improvement.
Miles Bridges has been a starter for the last 2 years.
Yeah,
And like I said, it looks like genuine improvement. He's shooting the ball. Like I said, I mean, his percentages have gone down a little
taking
bit,
better
but
shots though.
he's taking better
taking better
shots.
shots.
He's gotten a little better defensively as well too. All of that. So I think if the award was given today, that would be his award because, like I said, a lot of it I feel like goes down to a guy that didn't really play a whole lot, and now he's in the starting lineup, and he went from 4 points to 16. Yeah, because he was getting 12 minutes a game before, you
Right.
know. But yeah, I mean
I thought
those
you
are
were
just
gonna
my
say It's mainly just the Who Can Chuck More award, which I guess is the unofficial title of the Six Man of the
That's
Year
a
award
six
as
man.
well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, pretty much.
oftentimes you see just the most improved player. Yeah, like the team gets gutted and they're just like, all right, it's my time to make money
Hmm.
and just chuck. So,
Right, because I'm thinking of the last few. Like Victor Oladipo was a
yeah,
career starter. Got out of OKC, went to Indiana, and was a 20-point per game scorer, an All
yeah,
Star, and all that. So like, okay, that's legit improvement right there. You know.
yeah.
So yeah, no, those are my thoughts on Miles Bridges and on the most improved player award. What is your last 3-pointer that you got?
Yeah. So my last 3-pointer is a topic I don't really know enough about to really comment on, but I'll give you my thoughts. Similar to the Suns Sarver story mystery that we talked about
Hmm.
in a previous episode, that story still hasn't come out, curiously enough.
Yeah.
Um, I think that Jordan Schultz, who reported the reporting of the story, might have fucked up. Different topic.
Mm.
My topic today, I want to talk about Rui Hachimura. Where is he? The Washington Wizards don't know. They don't know. So Rui Hachimura was excused in September from I think it was their camp or whatever for personal reasons,
Yeah.
and was supposed to report back by the start of regular season. Has not. The Wizards have been trying to contact him and reach him the past week. Now that the season's been going on, and they don't know where he is. The Washington
I
Wizards have
I saw a
no idea where
report.
Rui is.
I saw a report today that he's getting his own Jordan shoe, like a little like player
Right.
exclusive colorway or something. I saw that and like I mean somebody's got to be in contact with him for that to come out.
Right.
Um
There was a report that they thought this, and this is bizarre that a team would have this little knowledge on their own player. There was a report that someone in the organization, the Wizards organization, thought that he was just working out at night, so he didn't see anyone.
huh.
um, I I don't know if the Wizards facility has cameras or not. If they don't, and I guess they don't because they don't know where Rui is still, then feel free to rob the Wizards practice facility apparently because
Right.
they just don't have cameras.
Yeah.
But like it's kind of weird because Rui Hachimura, pretty bright future. He's still 23,
Yeah.
top 10 pick a couple years ago in the
Hmm.
2019 draft. So and he's been a big piece for them. They've been good without him, but like you'd like to know at least where he is in the world.
Right, like I'm worried. Yeah, exactly, because
I kind of,
seems
which
like
is
a
why
good guy.
I'm hesitant to sort of like report it because I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's mental health related or anything. I know in the NFL, Calvin Ridley just announced
Mhm.
that he's taking some leave of absence.
Yeah, I played against
Um,
him in fantasy this week, and like I left him
Clutch,
in his lineup, and I was like, "Phew, perfect. Yeah, but I mean,
clutch.
no,
Yeah,
good for Calvin Ridley. If that's the case for Rui, I mean, I hope
yeah.
he
I
gets
don't know
things
what's going
sorted.
on with him. There's a rumor that he was in Japan, maybe working on his signature shoe or whatever.
Yeah,
Um, but or if he's rehabbing an injury or whatever. But I don't know where he is, and I don't think the Wizards do either. And I think it's pretty interesting.
right. And I mean, clearly, I hope Rui, the guy, is okay for sure. I mean, like
Yeah,
if it's
yeah,
something big's got to be going on, but I want to talk about it just from a pure basketball perspective. It's not good to
no,
miss this amount of for anybody to miss this amount of time. You have a new coaching staff, tons of new players. You know, you got Dinwiddie, Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, all these new players and all that stuff. So like, it's not good for him to miss this kind of time this early on because there are so many new factors in Washington right now to where I don't imagine him playing a whole lot once he does whenever he
yeah,
does come back, because
yeah,
they're winning and they're doing well right now. And if I were Wes Unseld Jr., I wouldn't want to mess that up. I wouldn't want to change anything about if it's not broke, don't fix it.
yeah,
Like because what happens when Rui does come back? They're just gonna be like, well, I mean, Montrezl Harrell's actually been pretty solid right now for this
yeah,
season so far, and so is Kuzma. So I don't know. It's like I said, just coming from a pure basketball perspective, clearly something has to be going on with him. I hope he's okay. I hope he gets
So
or whatever all of that
there
sorted.
there were conflicting reports. The initial report is that they didn't know where he was, and now the report is he's not with the team, but he's doing individual workouts. I
Okay.
don't know what that entails. I don't know why you wouldn't be working out with the team,
Yeah.
but the same reporter said that he wasn't in game shape yet, and the team isn't sure when he's going to return because
Okay.
he's doing individual workouts. But that implies that he's not like MIA or in danger,
Mhm.
but he's not with the team right now. So
Weird, because
yeah,
it doesn't seem like it's like a Ben Simmons thing to where like
no, I don't think
there's
so.
clear tension or anything, but
Yeah,
strange. No, I haven't heard too much about it. Like I said, the only thing I saw about Rui earlier was about the report about how he has a Jordan colorway coming out
yeah,
soon.
and
But
part of this was him playing for the Japanese national team,
mhm.
and the effect that had on him, whatever that may be. But there's a lot of reports flying around, and whatever it is, the big detail is I have no idea when Rui is going to come back or what
I
he'll
mean,
look like when he does come back.
yeah, exactly. Well,
Yeah,
hope everything's okay with Rui. You
yeah,
know, seems like a very good guy.
yeah.
And moving into my final 3-pointer
Let's
uh,
hear it.
uh, of the day, the Celtics are bad.
Wait,
And
Say that again.
the Boston Celtics are bad.
They're not going to be the 3 seed, and Ime Udoka's not going to win them like 82 games.
So my Jason Tatum MVP prediction
Still alive.
could already be looking like a bad one.
Oh my god!
Um,
It took less than a week.
yeah, right. I know that already didn't age well. Like that's one of the shortest like freezing cold takes you'll
Yeah,
probably ever see.
yeah. It was bold. I'll give you that, though. It's not like pretty bold.
I was trying to think outside the box, man,
Outsmarting yourself.
and it comes back exactly. Yeah, I was trying.
Udoka's no Jason Kidd, is leading the 4-2 Dallas Mavericks to his dark horse coach of the
Right.
year
Yeah.
candidacy. Baby, it's gonna happen.
It
He's
looks
in
like you
can.
have a
He's
because
in
yeah,
contention.
Luca was your MVP too, right? Okay,
I think
shit.
so.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you're actually
Yeah.
looking better than I am right now.
Yeah.
But the team's failures right now too, just aside from my Jason Tatum MVP pick, the
Right.
team's failures come down to a couple things right now too. I want to give Jaylen Brown a break because he is coming off of COVID, and
Yeah.
he said straight up, I'm tired. And I mean, I've never had COVID. I don't know how that how
I
that
haven't either.
feels or anything, so I can't imagine.
My
It's easy
sources
right
tell
now.
me it is a virus. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
So I can't imagine it being, comfortable to be out there playing, as the minutes that Jaylen Brown plays. And the other thing too is him and Jason Tatum can't simultaneously both have a good game.
Pretty much. Yeah.
It's either Tatum has a good game and Jaylen Brown has an off night, or Jaylen Brown's a stud and Tatum is an off night. That's something that I'm sure will fix itself later on because, like I mentioned, I think the past episode or the episode before, they're the lead scoring duo in the NBA, but it seems like they're just going out there and just getting it on their own, and they're not like a
Yeah.
real duo.
Both pretty ball dominant. Which
Yeah, 100%.
you've heard how many times have you heard in the NBA the past few seasons like, oh, there's only one ball? Like usually it's not a big problem for the Celtics.
Exactly.
You could say there is
Yeah.
only one ball.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then the other
Yeah.
thing too, Robert Williams has actually been a highlight of this team too. He's blocking a ton of shots. He's leading
Yeah,
the
he's
NBA in blocks
for
right now.
how short he is. He's
Right.
pretty solid rim protector. It's part of his bulk, his mass.
But that's about as good as they get defensively.
Yeah, Dennis
They're not.
Schroeder does play for the team, so
Yeah, exactly. And then Tatum and Brown have their hands full on just offensively. So I don't imagine them to. I mean, they're both good defenders.
yeah,
But they're not the guy. They shouldn't be your premier lockdown guys. You should kind of have somebody for that. And that brings me to the guy that's supposed to be their premier lockdown guy. Marcus Smart is not playing good. Cannot make a shot to save his life. I think the Celtics should consider trading him at this point.
When was he just got extended recently, right?
He did.
Yeah, and that part of that extension was them believing that his flashes of offensive prowess that he showed this past season, shooting the ball better, being more of a playmaker on offense, not just standing there. That's got to show up consistently for him to be worth his money.
And that has not been the case.
Not so far. It is the Celtics do have a tendency to, I think, start slow and then they figure it out. Like I guess the
Mhm.
Jazz would be a good example of a team that does that.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, they always kind of struggle at the beginning of the season. I mean, they've
yeah,
been
and
they've been
I,
good
I
this
I
season.
don't know anything about Udoka, but I mean, again, he's another one of those pop coaching tree guys.
Mhm.
So I give him the benefit of the doubt. I guess I don't know how dumb that is of me to say, but yeah, so far this season hasn't looked great.
No, not one bit for Boston. And my Jason Tatum MVP prediction and my Celtics being the 3 seed prediction could age terribly because I want to say they are. Let me take a look. They are the 12 seed. They're 2-4 currently.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Maybe those
So
new jerseys will help.
right. Yeah. If only. But yeah, no, that was my last 3-pointer for the day. And now
Yeah.
getting to the part of the show that we talk about a few topics throughout the week, stuff that might have happened in games, some stuff on NBA Twitter, things that weren't big enough footnotes to make an entire segment about them. But I have a couple miscellaneous topics for the week, John. Do you got anything for me?
Yeah, I do. I'll go first. There are a lot of looking at box scores, and Zach Lowe tweeted about this
Mm-hmm.
about the same time that I was thinking about it. There's a lot of Jay Greens around the league. Jalen Green, Josh Green, Jeff Green, Javante Green, Jermichael Green, two of which are on the same team. So
Yeah,
when you look in the NBA app and it says Jay Green, there's no letter, so you just have to guess on the Nuggets when you look at their box score
yeah,
whether Jermichael or Jeff
there really
is
is
the
a lot of
one.
Jay Greens. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Huh.
a little weird. Around the league, Josh Green, I forgot to mention him.
Uh-huh.
Um, but the Nuggets especially confusing because you don't know who had a good game or who had a bad game
Oh,
based on
Jordan Green.
Jordan Green.
I just made that player up.
Okay, I was gonna say I have
Yeah,
no idea who the hell that is, but a lot of Jay Greens. What were you gonna say? What was your
interesting.
topic? Yeah,
I didn't. I guess it's something now that you mention it. I definitely noticed that, and we might be missing another one. But
maybe.
interesting. The one that I had. I'm trying my best to avoid this becoming a Bulls podcast. But I had to
They're a
talk
fun
about it.
team.
Patrick Williams.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean that's big news.
yeah, Patrick Williams out for the season. Clearly not anything
Left
we
wrist
left wrist.
injury.
Yeah, clearly not anything we would like to see as Bulls fans. I think and this gives me a lot of worries when it comes to the playoffs too, because Patrick Williams that's what he's in the starting lineup for, was to be the the main wing defender on this team. So now it's either Derrick Jones Jr. time or DeMar DeRozan slides to the 4 and is going to take those assignments, but he has a lot of responsibility offensively to where I think if we match up with like the Nets or the Celtics or the Knicks or something, and he has to take either a Kevin Durant, Julius Randle, Jason Tatum assignment on defense and still have to give you 20 points offensively, I think we'd be screwed. And so I worry a little fuck. And so I worry a little bit about this team defensively, but I mean they did fine without him against the Jazz. So I think they'll still be okay, but obviously losing Patrick Williams isn't something that any Bulls fan wanted to see.
Yeah, yeah, and I think Javante Green would be okay in the starting lineup
Yeah,
in his absence, but
I guess.
they were already very, very thin on big men, and they are even
Mhm.
thinner. So
They
we'll
need
see
to
what
make a
happens.
they need to make a move at the deadline or
Yeah,
try to get
probably
somebody
involving
off.
Kobe White.
You think so?
I think they could move him for a big man. Yeah,
I don't. I want to see him first in his microwave role off the bench. I don't want to move off of him because this is what I always wanted him to be, was that Lou Will
yeah,
guy off the bench. But
yeah,
yeah, we'll see. Well, a lot of season left, and like I said, they did fine
definitely.
against the Jazz. So we'll see. What
Well,
other
surprising. Yeah,
miscellaneous topics you got?
yeah. So I just have a simple one. Do you know who's the league leader in points in the paint right now? You might, but do you know?
I'm gonna guess Nikola Jokic.
No, it's Ja Morant.
Huh.
Ja Morant currently leading the NBA in points in the paint. The next four guys are all forwards or big men, and they're
Interesting.
all falling behind Ja Morant right now. He's getting it done inside the paint. You know him as a high flyer and a finisher, but he's going off. So
Yeah, because I
thought
mean
that was,
he's not that much of a shooter.
yeah. So I thought that was neat.
Interesting. Huh.
And then my last topic is so last week the Mavericks played I think it was Houston, and it was requested by the Mavericks Leadership Council. That's how it was reported, that all 15 players on the roster play, or 13, whatever it is. And it happened. They played, and it was reported after the game that the Mavs Leadership Council consists of Luka Doncic, Kristaps Porzingis, and Tim Hardaway Jr. What do you think about that?
That sounds like
Jim
you
Boylan
know,
shit?
well, it sounds like some Jim Boylan shit, but it also sounds like, like at your high school on like senior night
Yeah.
or like a basketball team or whatever, they put like the people that don't really play in or something
Yeah.
like that. Like that's kind of what it sounds like to me. Like everybody's gonna get their minutes, and but
Yeah. So it's
yeah,
also like the only three players in the council are the three non-shitty players on the
right, yeah,
Mavericks.
three best players.
Like,
I think that
yeah,
was maybe that
if you
their
were
thought.
wondering who was going to be in like the leadership council, it's like not really a big mystery. It's the three players on the team.
Yeah. And maybe that was kind of like their way of like, let's give these guys a confidence boost. Let's get them in the game, and maybe they'll all pick up and we'll be solid this year. But
Yeah.
that's really my only way that I would understand why that would happen. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, like I said, it sounds like some senior night for your high school basketball team. Shit, honestly. My last point that I had too for my miscellaneous ones is Cade Cunningham was not great in his debut. I'm not going to put too
No.
much into it.
He banged up a little bit.
He's banged up a little bit. He missed some time. Got to get going with the system and playing with these guys. And I'm not going to overreact, but he was not very good. And it very much could be like
You sound sad.
well, yeah, because he was my rookie of the year prediction, and
He
where
is
it could be like a
not very
Zion.
good.
It could be a Zion thing to where like Zion was
I
the
hope
best
not.
player in like the 20 games that Zion played that season. Like I mean, he was better than John Morant, but you can't give the rookie of the year to the guy that only played 20 games.
Didn't someone vote for him though? I forget who. Some jackass reporter.
Probably, but
I
I
think
mean
it was
that
like
was John
Joe
Morant.
Cowley or someone voted for Zion like an idiot. I think it was Joe Cowley.
Probably,
If
but
it wasn't, still fuck Joe Cowley. I hate that guy.
yeah, right. Those
But
are our miscellaneous topics for the day. If we missed any small, minuscule news, something funny, anything like that, let us know because I love to consume any basketball content that I can throughout the week. And moving into our main topic of the day today, something you and I had texted about before. We've made
yeah,
mentions to it on other episodes as well too, and that is that the days of the East being viewed at as weak and not being on par with the Western Conference, those days are done. And you can say this ended whenever LeBron left the conference and people changed their opinions on it magically and all that. But
right.
yeah, no, as of right now, the Eastern Conference is better. They're better at the top, and they're better all throughout.
They are.
There's only two teams right now that I don't think could make the playoffs, and that's because they don't really want to, and that's the Pistons and the Magic.
Yeah.
But like legit, I could see there's 13 playoff contenders in this conference, and then over on the West side of things, the Rockets, Thunder, the Pelicans are bad. I don't look at the
Spurs,
Clippers the Spurs. I don't look at the Clippers as a playoff team.
Kings.
The Suns have been bad. The Kings.
The Timberwolves might get a playoff spot, but they're 3-2, and I'd already say that they're supposed to come down to earth because I don't
So
even think they're good as 3-2
I'm
team.
I'm looking at the standings right now,
Yeah.
and like I said, the top of the East is just better. There's four teams that are 5-1, and in the West there's only two, and that's the Jazz and the Warriors.
And you
And
look at the
after that,
teams that aren't doing so hot in the East, and the Celtics are a part of that group. The Bucks are the 10th seed. The
but I
Nets are
still I still think the Celtics, who are the current 12 seed, are better than the 4-seeded Mavericks in the West and better
Yeah,
than the 5-seeded Timberwolves in the West.
yeah. I mean,
You
even
know?
not looking at seeds because it's so early in the season, you can definitely see a talent gap just in general, top to bottom in the
Hmm.
conference, like you mentioned earlier. Like it's just way more competitive. I would not want to be a team in the East trying to get into those last seeds because there's going to be some heavy competition. Whether it's you look at the Timberwolves who are 3-2, and you look at their competition for the play-in, you think like, yeah, the Timberwolves might make the playoffs. That's how you know your conference is bad. When you can
Right.
say yeah, the Timberwolves might make the playoffs. They're looking good. Like
Yeah.
that's when you give up hope that your conference is better. The days of the Leastern Conference are over. It's now
Right.
the Western Conference,
Right,
as in they're
exactly. Because
bad.
like I said, even the guys at the more at the bottom of the East, like I think the Pacers are. I mean, despite their 1-6
They're
start,
banged up.
they're banged up. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. I still think they're a better team than the Timberwolves. And like I said, the Celtics I think are better than the T Wolves and the Mavs, and the Cavs have been solid. The Bucks are the 10 seed, and this is still, they're. I think they're. I was looking at the power rankings that came out this week. I think they're still like fourth in the power rankings, being 3 and 4
yeah,
and being the 10 seed, and that's just a showing of how deep the East is right now. Because going back to those power rankings, it's the Jazz at 1, and then a bunch of Eastern Conference teams.
yeah.
The Heat are playing great basketball right now. The Knicks are playing great basketball. The Wizards are playing great right now too. They're 5-1. Maybe this is finally the group that Bradley Beal needed around him. The Bulls are
Yeah.
5-1.
I mean, you even look at the top teams in the West, other than the Jazz, like you said, and there's so much uncertainty swirling around pretty much all of them. The Lakers, I mean, we all know the Lakers is a team that's going to figure it out, presumably, because they
Yeah,
have LeBron and AD and Russ, but they're not looking so hot, and people have dogged on them. The Nuggets are missing Jamal Murray. I think a lot of people think the Warriors are going to come down to earth just because they've been on a hot streak. The Mavericks are coached by Jason, so there's no way they finish with a good record.
I don't
The
think.
Kings are currently in the playoffs. The Trailblazers, the Grizzlies, every team that's not in the playoffs, besides probably the Suns and maybe the Clippers, are all ass, just like certifiably just
Spurs,
bad teams.
Rockets, Pelicans, Thunder, and
I
I'll
mean,
even call the Clippers a bad team right now too
oh yeah,
because Paul George
without
had
Kawhi.
42 points the other night and they lost again. Like it's
Yeah,
they're not good right now, and they don't look like a playoff team. And like I said, the days of the East being weaker than the West are very clearly over. And even like the Hawks are the 9 seed right now. The Nets are the 8 seed. Um, this is just a way deeper conference, and even going into star power right now too. I still might. No, actually, I mean, there's probably bigger stars out in the West. You got
yeah.
LeBron,
There's
Anthony Davis, and Steph Curry, and the MVP
yeah.
Jokic. But
Ja's been getting a lot of hype as an up and
mhm,
comer, but it's not always star power that wins you games, especially during the regular season, and
right,
that helps you in playoff seedings, as obvious as that is. But I mean, Zion's not doing the Pelicans any favors right now, and
no,
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, as good as he plays, the Thunder are always going to be just ass incarnate. The
oh yeah,
Rockets have no one. Paul George can't do it for the Clippers right now. The Spurs
exactly.
have the Spurs have no one. The Suns have been playing poorly.
I'm actually kind of
Dame,
mad that if I want to go see live basketball now that I
you have
don't
to
live in
watch the Spurs.
Chicago, I have to go watch the Spurs. And then the other thing too is like I've considered going to Rockets games too. I mean, they're kind of exciting, but like still they're just putting
They're
19-year-olds out
pretty
on the floor.
ass too.
Yeah,
Your best
exactly.
bet is driving all the way to Dallas, and
Which is the furthest drive out of those
yeah,
three. But I mean, I would love to see Luca play
yeah. But
live. But
if Luca sits, then you're completely fucked because
yep,
the
completely.
Mavericks without Luca is probably one of the most boring teams in the NBA. So
Well, because I almost went when the Spurs played the Lakers and LeBron sit a few weeks ago, last week or something like that. Yeah, so that would have been
yeah,
complete. That would have been a complete failure. And I'm
yeah.
looking at these standings again too. I had the Raptors missing the playoffs. I think I had them missing the play in, and they're playing
I
good
think I had
too,
them
and
10th or 11th. I don't remember.
they're playing well too, and that's without Pascal Siakam.
Yeah,
So like,
Sixers don't look like they miss Ben Simmons too much.
no, I mean, there's obviously would like to have a guy like him out
No,
on the court.
no
But,
shit. But like
yeah,
they don't
right.
look like they're like mourning every loss or playing
No,
without confidence because he's gone or something. They look like they're playing more cohesively, if anything.
and that reminds me, I just got a report from Shams a little bit ago. It was regarding Tobias Harris.
Lay it on us.
I'm
Breaking news.
waiting,
Break the news on the show. That's what
waiting.
Woj does. You ever notice when Shams reports something first before Woj will basically just report the same thing but add some like minuscule detail at the end, so it's like he
Yeah.
reported it. Yeah.
So yeah, it's his
That's what
own
we can do.
thing. Yeah. Tobias Harris is expected to miss several games in the NBA's health and safety protocols. Sources tells The Athletic.
We could break news that there's a COVID outbreak in Philly, and
Oh God, that'd be terrible.
it'd be really
Well,
juicy. We should say that Ben Simmons started it. That'll get a shit ton of
right.
credit.
Well, because that happened to them at the beginning of last season, and like they were running games with like, I mean, Paul Reed was getting like valuable minutes in these games, and like Mike Scott was like starting and like stuff. So that happened to them
Love
last
Mike
year.
Scott. Yeah.
Oh, and Embiid's already hurt, I think.
Again.
Well, I saw a report about it. It was like he got an MRI, and they say it's nothing serious. I think he might miss a game or something, but I mean,
Yeah.
he's fine. But that's kind of routine at this point, you know.
You should expect that if you're anyone affiliated with Philly, whether it's a fan or you're in the front office or you're Doc Rivers. Yeah.
Exactly. Man, could anybody have seen the Knicks being the 1 seed right now at any point of this season? I have them I think I had them as like my 8 or my 7 seed.
Bing bong. Bing
Yeah,
bong.
right.
I mean, it's not surprising. Again, like we talked about this, I think last episode, the Magic had that point where they were like the 1 or 2 seed after I think like 12 games. They might have been 10-2 or something like that. And
Then they remembered.
Aaron Gordon said like something along the lines of like, you got to respect us. And then they finished like 13th in the conference. So not saying the Knicks will fall off. They look like a really cohesive team. And
Yeah,
Tibbs looks like a really good coach. But
yeah, that's why you just can't. I just wouldn't say anything if I was on one of those teams.
It hasn't stopped Knicks
like,
fans from celebrating their championship already. So
I'm happy for them. I would love at some point for us to go to a game at MSG.
Oh yeah.
If you guys want to see a live game reaction at MSG from us, please let us know, because we will be doing.
We'll make it happen.
We'll be doing something on the sorts of that. I'm going to be home in December, so the Lakers are playing the Bulls. And,
they are
December 19th. So
yep.
that's 2 days before my birthday. If
nice.
we might have to pull into that one and give our thoughts on that game. But I'm just excited to go to an NBA basketball game again.
Yeah, I'm gonna be hitting up Bulls Nets and Bulls Mavericks, I think, next week.
Oh, really?
So that'll be cool. Yeah, I still get that student discount for my email. They run a program there, so I just run them.
So I want to know if you think my student email would still work.
Try it. I don't even think I needed access to it. Well, no, for the tickets. Do you have access to it, or?
I mean, I haven't. I graduated almost 2
years
ago. They shut it down? I don't know.
They probably did.
Maybe.
They probably. You can try it out.
I'm gonna try it out. Yeah.
You take a look.
Yeah, I might have to.
Yeah.
All right, guys. That's enough for the episode today. I got some stuff to do, but yeah, I might check that out later and see if I can still
check it out. Scam them.
Right. No, we will be hopefully getting some live game analysis. Another thing too is when I'm back home and we are both in Chicago, we're probably going to try to get some live episodes going on. You know,
episodes.
We might rent a studio out. We might go back to my house or something and get this
going.
Rent
your house out.
Yeah, exactly. But we would love to get a few live episodes in as well too. But this is about all we have today, because apparently my co-host is Mr. Bitches and has a date that he has to get to soon. You knew it was going to happen when you told me that, and when you texted me that yesterday.
We're going to see Dune, so if Dune sucks, it's over for her. So
is this a first date?
Yeah.
You're going to a movie on a first date?
Yeah, you talk about the movie after you see it over like drinks or dinner or something. Yeah, why not?
Oh, okay. I didn't. I thought it was just going to be like
No, yeah.
movie. Okay, I'll see you next time.
All
It was
right, see
great to
you
meet
later.
you.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
now it makes more sense. Let us
yeah.
know.
But if Dune sucks, I'll be pissed off, and I'm just gonna leave.
Yeah.
Just leave the theater mid movie and just have her just whatever. So.
Yeah, no, for sure. But let us know when it comes to the standings of the NBA right now. Let us know if you still think the West is the premier conference in the NBA right now. Also, when it comes to these standings, let us know if you think these are sustainable, if you think the Knicks are going to continue to be the 1 seed throughout the year and the Wizards are going to remain the 3 seed. Let us know what's sustainable, what's not, who are frauds, who are teams that just need some time to figure it out. Let us all know in the comments below. Do all of those YouTube things, thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because we will be well rested after this Halloween weekend, and we will be back on Wednesday with another
Wednesdays and
episode.
Sundays.
Wednesdays and
Wednesdays and
Sundays,
Sundays.
with some instances where we just
Rare
rare.
instances.
Yeah,
Wednesdays and Sundays.
dude, we
Wednesdays
announced
and
that
Sundays.
we announced that schedule like 2 weeks ago, and we already messed it up.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a consistent. But Wednesdays and Sundays, no matter what, from here on out, no more mistakes.
Hold us to it. Yeah.
Wednesdays and Sundays.
Exactly. But we will be back on Wednesday with more NBA content here. I'm about to go turn on the games tonight and see what's going on. Hopefully, we get hopefully, somebody finds Rui Hachimura, and hopefully, some other exciting things happen. But we'll be back on Wednesday no matter what. Alex, signing out. Thank you all for watching.